Josh Katzenstein here with Luke Johnson to recap the Saints preseason game against the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals won 20-15, Luke. Sounds a lot closer than it really was. The Saints didn't get a touchdown until the last couple of minutes of the game when JT Barrett ran one in. Obviously, the big takeaway is that Taysom Hill had 4 turnovers. He also had another fumble that the Saints were fortunate to recover. And I know a lot of people were ready, for Taysom to prove that he was the future, but it seems like he still has a lot of work to do.
Yeah. I think you can't have. He was on the field for 6 possessions, 4 ended in turnovers, 1 ended in a 3-and-out, and the other ended in a field goal. So that's not good. They wanted to give him the chance with the first team offense, but when it wasn't a turnover, he was throwing high on an open Mike Thomas. It looked like there must have been a miscommunication with him and Ted Ginn on one where he just completely missed him. And the guys weren't helping him out. Cam Meredith dropped a catchable ball. It was right here in his hands, and it popped up into the air, and it ended up in an interception. But still got to be better than that. It's not good.
Yeah, Sean Payton said that Ted Ginn ran the route wrong 2 times. There was one to the sideline where it seemed like, the timing was off, so that was probably one. And then there was another one, a deep shot to Ginn.
Yeah.
I don't know if he ran the wrong route, but certainly it didn't seem like, he was where Taysom expected him to be. That ball ended up being an interception. But obviously, any quarterback will take responsibility for anything that goes wrong with the offense. So even though, he didn't get much help from his teammates, including, the one that went off Meredith's hands, I'm sure, he's going to, have a hard time forgetting this night.
Yeah. There was some good stuff to build on, though.
For sure.
Like there was the 43-yard run. Yep. We saw the stat cast or whatever afterwards, and he had a top speed of 21.1 miles an hour, and that's a quarterback. I mean, he can do some good things. I thought he did well in that 2-minute before he had the fumble, but he needs to have more than some flashes, I think, to play that position in this league.
Absolutely. Some other guys that stood out, I thought Jonathan Williams had a good night.
Yeah.
Mark Ingram had a good night too. We'll see just how much they keep using him in the preseason with a looming suspension. Traquan Smith had 3 catches, I think, for 60 yards. Yeah, so he was really good again. And then defensively, I thought the defensive line showed out again. They didn't have the 6 sacks from last week, but they continued to create pressure, really from the start until the end with a lot of those backups that are competing for jobs.
Yeah, and I thought, Josh Rosen looked pretty good, but they were really getting after him and forcing him to rush some throws and get rid of the ball. There was probably 2 plays that could have been intentional grounding calls that weren't. I think they were getting after it, guys like Devereaux Lawrence showed out again. I thought Mitchell Laven was back there for a couple different pressures and plays. Who was it actually? I think Al-Qadim Muhammad was in there
some nice
for a couple too.
For sure.
So, I mean, and those guys need to show out, man, because there's not really a lot of spots on that backup defensive line. There's not a lot of roster spots there. So, it's important that they have the games they had today.
Yeah, for sure. I talked to Trey Hendrickson a little bit about that, and he said the opportunity that they all have just because of the injuries. When you lose Alex Okafor, we don't know how long he'll be sidelined with his knee and ankle injuries. Cam has missed some time. I think Marcus Davenport, of course, has really missed the last 2 weeks. So, as long as anyone is sidelined, everyone else gets elevated, and those guys are trying to take advantage of their opportunities. So we'll see what this next week of practice has in store before their game against the Chargers. And you can follow all of our coverage at NOLA.com and in the Times-Picayune, and we'll talk to you soon.